why do you think it's so hard for people to actually go out and take a growth mindset and turn it into action?
Well, our most of our behavior is driven by unconscious thoughts and unconscious habits, right? So changing habits and even changing thoughts takes effort. Our brain is wired right now, however it is, in a certain way, and we can change it. The neuroplasticity tells us we can change the way our brain is wired, which is what creates the thoughts. But that takes repetition, right? There's the saying of neurons that fire together, wire together. So we have to go back to it and repeat and practice in order for our brain to change, therefore for our thinking to change. So that's one reason. Another reason is that a lot of systems in society, in our organizations, are they're not designed with this insight in mind, and they are very performance oriented. And so even schools, right? In schools, there's so many kind of grades, letters and numbers that are put into every piece of work for students, and that sends the message that school is a place to perform. Schools is a place to ideally do everything at 100, everything perfectly, and that's the performance zone. When we're in the learning zone, we need to be working on what we don't know, making mistakes and figuring out what mistake did I make, what can I learn from this mistake, and those. So we wouldn't use a number on that. We would use feedback that we can learn from, like, hey, here, did you think of this or try this different strategy? So that's, whether it is there or Wall Street, it's very focused on current net earnings. That's kind of very performance focused. And so in our organizations, our meetings are often center around what needs to get done when, and those are really important things. Like, performance systems are critical, the performance zone is critical, super important. That's how we get things done, that's how we contribute. But we do that sometimes at the absence of the learning zone, and that hurts performance. That's the paradox, that if we incorporate learning, then we can raise our performance, and that's not obvious. So that's part of why we haven't done that. But then once we come to see that, then it takes effort individually, but also creating the social systems and the alignment. So we have to have conversations with the people around us, like, does this resonate? Do we want to incorporate more learning zone? What would that look like for us? What do we work on first? We're not going to work on everything at once at first. What should we start with? And that alignment and creating the social context is part of of the effort that we need to put in into change.